creeped out yet? Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask Britt Shit, where you send me your most tingling questions that you, for whatever reason, want to know my answers to. And how does one ask me shit, you may wonder? Well, you can leave a comment on YouTube, email me, hit me up on the Twitters, on Facebook, whatever. I love hearing from you guys. So please always feel free to reach out and I will respond. Unless you are creepy and say damn girl, you're yummy, and then I'll just completely ignore you or call you out, so don't do that. I have my lovely Jack D with me, so please feel free to partake as long as you are of the legal drinking age in your country. The first question comes from, I'm doing a little random scrolly mouse thing here, Brian McPherson. And Brian wants to know, what is your favorite game series of all time? My favorite series is the Super Mario series. I gotta drink before I answer this one. Oh god, that first one always stings, always bites. This is one of those questions that's like the what's your favorite console of all time question. My answer is going to change depending on when you ask me and what kind of mood I'm in. So knowing that, let's go forward. Right now, I would say I'm feeling Resident Evil as my favorite series of all time. So I love being scared. That being said, I am a pansy. I'm probably the biggest pansy. I'm one of those people that goes to see the new Paranormal Activity movies, and the whole time I'm like this, I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And because of that reason, games like Silent Hill or Fear, I cannot even go near without watching someone else play. But with Resident Evil, maybe it's because I'm so numb to zombies. I'm a zombie person. I love zombies, and so I'm not really scared of them. But Resident Evil still manages to create this creepy atmosphere. And it has, puzzles that aren't too complicated because I'm not really a puzzle person either. So you combine zombies, a creep factor, puzzles, not to mention, if you really dig into it, an incredible story and a really, really interesting universe with, multiple characters that may not be the most interesting, but we've been with them since 96? So it's always fun to revisit, and that's another reason why I'm so excited that Claire is back in Revelations 2. I love Code Veronica. I'm rambling. I could go on and on. So right now, Resident Evil is my favorite series. Our next question comes from Marcus Ferrara. Marcus asks, what was the first game that gave you that what the fuck moment? Marcus goes on to explain that the game that did that for him was Final Fantasy III, and then he goes to explain a certain situation, which is a spoiler, so I don't want to really say it, but if you played Final Fantasy III, you can probably imagine what it is. I personally had not played Final Fantasy III prior to this, so now I'm spoiled. I've been spoiled. Okay, so this is silly, and this definitely isn't a super dramatic moment in my gaming history where my mind was just blown, but recalling, I think this may be the first what the fuck moment that I had. So Ocarina of Time, surprise, I had a crush on Link. Woo, I have a crush on every video game character that has a penis or a vagina. But when you find out that Link is a Hylian, or however you pronounce this word, you personally, that blew my mind. My friend and I, we were playing it together. And we found out he was a Hylian, and we lost our minds. We both looked at each other like, oh my god! And she was all like, oh my god! And we were 9 years old? Yeah, I think we were 9 years old. And I think we just ran around the house because we were A, hyped up on pixie sticks, and B, life was very simple back then. But yeah, I recall that being a pretty big moment. I mean, wouldn't you freak out and run around the house hyping on pixie sticks if you found out your crush wasn't a Kokiri but a Hylian? I always feel like I'm offending someone when I pronounce it differently than they do. Kokiri, Kokiri, Hylian, Hylian, it's all the same, right? Our next question comes from, oh, I didn't have the document up. Now I do. That's what she said. Ayo. Bobby Lara. Bobby says, so, I wanted to ask a question and a favor. You always talk about awesome video games. How about terrible ones? What are some games you hate? And the favor is to make a post about it so everyone can add it and troll terrible games. Well, trolling is bad. You should never troll. The most terrible game I played. You know, I know when certain people are asked this question, they have like an entire list of terrible video games they've played. But I have to really think about it. I'm very selective with what games I play, so the only one that's coming to mind is a game called Orphan Scion of Sorcery for the PlayStation 2. And honestly, I played that game so long ago, I can't even recall why it was so bad. But I remember it left a really bad taste in my mouth. And I think it had something to do with once you supposedly complete the game, you really haven't. And you have to go back and play it over again. I don't know. If you've played that game, please let me know. Maybe you enjoyed it. I don't know how you could. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. What about you? What's the worst game you've ever played? I think we have time for one more. Christopher Johnson. And Christopher Johnson wants to know, where do you find all the time to do what you do? And what is your favorite soda or drink? Favorite non-alcoholic beverage? Kind of lame. It's water. I go through so much freaking water. And it has to be room temperature bottled water. If I don't have bottled water, I won't drink water. Not because I don't like the taste of like faucet water, but because I'm lazy. I'm very lazy. And if I don't have like, see, I have one right here. If I don't have this where I can just carry it with me wherever I go, I won't drink water and I'll get dehydrated and then I'll feel sick. And the reason it has to be room temperature is because then I can just chug it. I will just chug an entire bottle and just get it over with. It's all about efficiency, people. Efficiency. Hydration. Efficient hydration. But to answer your first question, I make time to do it. That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. You know, I've learned in life that if there's something you really, really want, you just have to make sacrifices and you have to make the time and you yourself have to make shit happen. When I first started blondenerd.com, I was working 40 hours a week. I had a 3-hour commute every day. I was in a relationship. I had all of this stuff I was doing, but I still made the time to do it. And that's kind of what it comes down to. It depends how badly you want it. If you want it bad enough, you'll sacrifice stuff. You know, I didn't go out and have drinks as many times as I would have liked. I didn't spend as much time gaming as I would have loved to. But, you know, it all pays off and hard work does pay off. It just depends how badly you want it. How bad do you want it? Ask yourself and you can do anything. That will be it for this edition of Ask Britt Shit. Again, if you want to ask me anything, please feel free. There's Twitter, Facebook, my blog, YouTube comments, email. I will say YouTube comments are really tough for me to keep track of, so maybe email? Or you can also send me a handwritten letter. I'm still waiting for someone to send me a written letter. My P.O. box is below. Please, someone send me a handwritten letter. I'm totally begging right now. Oh, God, it never gets easier. Thank you so much for washing. Thank you for washing your body. And I hope you have a fucking wonderful afternoon or morning or evening. Did I save it? Did I do a good job at getting out of the awkwardness of that?